Okay, let's start. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for making it to our hackathon. This is the last of our series of workshops and lectures. We hope you're all so excited, and we're so excited to see what you will create. All right, I'll go over really quickly some introductions and some descriptions of our organization, and then we'll jump into it. I'm sure a lot of you have already heard this before, but API services and the problem with them in the status quo is that they are prohibitively difficult for students to use and prohibitively expensive. So we here at DIY4Youth are a registered nonprofit started in early 2024, aiming to have some role in dismantling those barriers for you all. We offer you a chance to apply for free access to API services, and this hackathon is one of those learning opportunities where you can play around with them. And we believe that talent exists everywhere, so everyone should have a chance to be part of the future and possess those crucial skills. We also offer you training. We will offer you the opportunity to actually learn how to use AI, how to manipulate it through our workshops, lectures, and events just like this one. And we hope that these are skills that you will learn and that will stay with you for a lifetime. And so we're all so proud of you for coming this far, and we are so excited to see what you will create and achieve in the coming days. All right. So I want to reintroduce to you our team. Manu is our vice president and our co-founder. Legend is also our vice president and co-founder. Fred is our CTO as well as our co-founder. They've all worked incredibly hard to bring us to this point. And I want to introduce to you a really special guest that we're so lucky to have today, Dr. Kai Zeng, the co-founder of SSIMWAVE, as well as their lead researcher. It's a streaming and video quality startup that uses AI to help media and entertainment companies measure their viewer experiences, and then offer some of the highest quality video experiences in the world to their consumers while lowering the cost of doing so. It's blossomed into a $20 million business and was recently acquired by IMAX, so we are incredibly grateful to have him here. And I'll invite him now to talk to us a little bit about his experience. Dr. Zhang, do you want to share your screen and take over?
Yeah, for sure. Let me share my screen. Give me a sec. Right here. Okay. Can you hear me? And can you see my screen? Okay, cool. Okay, so just jumping to my presentation today, and thanks for having me, and glad to meet everyone. So basically, what I'm going to talk about, it's just going to be a quick presentation. So what I'm going to talk about is basically I'll introduce who I am and what I did at SSIMWAVE and what's the path I've went through. And then I'll talk about the current AI landscape. It's going to be a broad range of AI involving multiple industries. And the last thing is to share a little bit experience about how to start a startup and then gradually bring the startup into the right track to scale up and becoming a mature company. So first, say my name is Kai Zeng. And the right picture is the picture we took at 2020 when I got the Technical Emmy Award, and those are my families. So I got my PhD from University of Waterloo at Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering in 2013. So my research interest has broadly ranged from computer vision, image video processing, and multimodal artificial intelligence. So basically, when I did my PhD, usually for PhD, the research topic is quite narrow, but my major interest would be this perceptual quality of video and image. So that means like when we talk about the video quality, what does people really see the video and what's your experience when you watch video on your, say, cell phone or TV? So uh, after graduating from PhD, we started this company called SSIMWAVE. and I was most like the technical co-founder of it. And I'll talk about what SSIMWAVE did in my next slides. But so far, for now, basically SSIMWAVE in the multimedia entertainment industry. So our customers primarily focusing on video streaming, OTT players, broadcasting, and those video analytics guys. So basically, you can imagine our major customer in Canada would be Rogers, Bell. So those, telecommunication companies, and we most of our customer in the US would be like Comcast, Disney, Discovery. So they all run their own video streaming business, and we are running like a vendor for them to provide our technology and build this technology into a product and sell to them basically. So what SSIMWAVE did is this is a little bit technical, but just high level explain this right graph is this is most like a video delivery pipeline. So which means a video will be captured either in the field or in a studio that will be captured by a camcorder, and it will go through this pipeline to reach the end viewer, basically you and me, who will view this video or consume this video on your, say, tablets or cell phone. So in the middle, there would be, of course, this is a simplified system, but in the middle, there will be a lot of complexities involved. Say there are different versions of encoder and transcoder and packagers. So those are the major components. So encoder primarily compress the video, make the video file to be smaller and suitable for transmission over the internet. And the transcoder and the packager is basically to add the encryption of it and to make sure it can be recovered on the viewer side. So basically our technology is mainly about the video quality measurement. So we have because conventionally when people talk about video quality, they use a metric called the peak signal noise ratio. So that's basically coming from the communication world. Like say, if 1 out of 10 bits got wrong, so your quality gonna be 10% wrong, basically. But we argue that that 1 bit may not be as important as what you think, because it may not give you, like people may not see it. So our metric is basically measure the video quality from the vision perspective, from the human vision system perspective. And we built our product on top of this technology to provide the feature so that those telecommunication company can make use of this product to assure they have delivered the good enough quality to their customer. And this technology can be used for video analytics as well. So if something goes wrong, so if you look at the pipeline here, and we deploy the product at multiple locations surrounding along with the delivery pipeline. So if there's something wrong, our whole system, we call the insights, gonna get a flag or warning so that the error can be very, very fast to be allocated. And to take a more further step, so we can further optimize the video delivery pipeline, because we know what's the end viewer, how the end viewer will see what's their experience is. So we can further optimize the encoder and packager so that people can tune the configurations or the parameters of those module, and so to deliver the best quality of it. So I won't go into more deeper than that, but in our technical workflow, we're making use of AI to basically develop those computer vision algorithms, including say video artifact detection, or with some object tracking like human face detection, or like a color derivation measurement. So those are the very, very low level algorithm that we will use AI model. So we collect a huge number of samples and label them and train our model, and then implement, and even we have to do some to shrink the model and to make it suitable to be deployed in our product. And another important aspect where we are making use of AI is the data analytics, because we are collecting those data from the video delivery pipeline 24/7 and in real time. So because our system can be deployed for the live video as well. So that means like when you watch NFL or when you're watching NBA, so our system would keep collecting data out of those different streaming locations. So we would use AI to provide lots of important insights to those the management people in those telecommunication company. They are using those insights to making important business decisions. For example, like if there's something wrong, like whatever, there could be something coming up, say the East US can't get a signal, then who they would need to blame. I mean, where the issue is, and how do they leverage this issue to negotiate their business deals. So those are the things that you can see if you have important technology that's running in the very fundamental, in the low level, but you would have big impact to the business world. So basically, that's about SSIMWAVE. We use our own patented algorithm and build the product on top of it and deploy it along in the whole video delivery pipeline. So that's how do we run business. And after we are getting our the biggest customer, we basically duplicate this model to the other customers. So, but like Sophie said, we got acquired the year before last year. So for now, we are focusing on making use of this technology to helping IMAX to deliver their premium, quality brand into home, because their own business is about theater. So I'm not allowed to talk more about that, but so just give you an idea about what we're doing now. And so talking about AI, because on basically that's when I have spare time, I'm interested about the AI project, and I was involved into a like early stage venture capital. So basically helping them to evaluate those projects and talking with a lot of co-founders. And AI is the prime is one of the most important direction or channel that's the VC would be focusing on. So far, what I can see that's AI to me is more like a mathematical tool. So there's nothing. It could be, it looks like a human in the computer that you can ask anything and you can get a very user-friendly response, and it can give you very accurate answers. But it also have a lot of shortage. For example, sometimes I guess a lot of you knows hallucination, right? So they can tell you something wrong, but if you don't know it, you don't even realize it. So, but still, AI has their own limitation, but AI can help a lot of things. The primary benefit of AI to me is like, one is to augment the human capability. For example, like chatbot. Like a chatbot has been in the industry for like 20 years, but previously people just doing the programming. There's a lot of logic to design, and it's more like when you talk with chatbot, you're talking to a robot. So you may not get the right answer from the chatbot, but now AI can understand the world. AI can know can understand what you're asking, so that it can give you a very accurate answer that can really help you. So that's one of the things. It can enlarge the capability of human to expand our what we want to do, basically. And another thing is to automate the repetitive task. So to me, it's a very common things because the software was designed for that. If there's some like labor intensive, repetitive task, you can always use the software to replace that. It's just the AI has more capability, can do more things for you. So my personal interest, one of my personal interests is more about the humanoid AI. So basically you combine AI with the robotics. It can basically increase the impact of this AI and the robotic to the human life in very large range. And the third one is to uncover the insights from vast amount of data. So that's another thing. Like you can use AI to read a very thick book, right? I mean, you may have like a book with 1,000 pages, but you can still use AI model to basically read this book to you, not read it out, but to understand the book and write you a summary of it. And it could really just take like 2 minutes or 40 seconds for a model to really understand what this book is about and to give you a very quick summary about it. And but from the AI industry itself, so if we roughly divide it into the model layer or the infrastructure, basically. So those are the company, all the different model that are available on the market. So that's the model layer. So in this layer, we have say OpenAI, Facebook, so all the big companies. You may know more name than me, but so those models have their own pros and cons basically. So, but to me, like it will be very difficult for a startup to develop their own model, just because it's involve a lot of cost. And well, if you really knows about the model, you can build your own model. Like for example, like I think Chat GPT-3, they have this chain of thoughts as a very useful feature because it can understand the context of this conversation. So that would be the key features in your LLM. So, but on the model level, we have a lot of open source one and we have OpenAI. So it's really interesting to see a lot of people are building different projects, basically making use of this AI model to do a lot of things. So that's what they basically talk about the application layer. So that's a graph on the top. So on the top, people are thinking about, okay, since AI can do so many things, how can I use this to change the industry I am into? So to me, because I'm working on the multimedia, like image and video processing, so I'm more interested about this, text to image generation or image like computer vision. In the computer vision, there would be like image segmentation using the large language model. We have the segment anything model, and there will be video editing, or we can generate video using like Sora. And so there are a lot of things model can do, but now if we look at the major industry that can making use of AI, it's primarily like focusing on those things. You can see those are very broad range of industry, and I would say there are more. This is just a rough list. For example, on the medical side, like people are using AI to develop new drugs. It's also about the drug manufacturer as well. And on the art side, we have text to image generation, and people can generate I don't know 20 seconds or even 1 minute of video, like short video, out of just some prompt. And on the manufacturer, people are using the AI model to really facilitate the resource allocation and the task coordinating. So those are all the applications. So I think the interesting about AI is that it's not just a mathematical tool, even though fundamentally I think it is, but it's really a research direction that attract so many intentions, and at least it never happened. That I have never seen that before. But so far, you may think about basically. I know a lot of audience are students now, but you can talk about after you get familiar with AI, you can talk about this with your parents or your friends who has worked already to see okay what's the problem they are having and see if you can solving those problems using those AI tools. And I have seen a lot of projects using AI. For example, they can use AI to write patents. They can use AI to draw a landscape of the city, and also they can help use AI to give them an architectural design of a building. Of course, there will be human involved afterwards because in the end, there has to be a human who is responsible for the safety and security of those design. But AI can really accelerate those process. So, and in our domain, like we are on the multimedia in the entertainment industry, the AI has interrupted the Hollywood already. Like the people said, in the future we may not need a director anymore. We can just tell AI the story, or we can just input a script to AI, then AI will give you a full movie. So that could be happening in the future, but there gonna be a long way to go because so far the AI model has pretty big already, and it has its capabilities to see okay how people still can find some short range about AI. So I guess that's something about AI, and I'll talk about how to uh, start a startup. Talking about my own experience, like when I did my PhD initially, I didn't think about to run to basically build a startup. It's when we it's I think it's started from when I talked to my supervisor, who supervised my PhD, and one of my
Yo,
colleague. And so when we did PhD, we participated a lot of conference, not just some academic conference, but also the industry conference as well. So because our lab is one of, say, top 5 labs in this research direction internationally. So there are a lot of people, for example, some video engineer or video researcher, or even some technical managers coming to us. So asking us, how do we did that? How do we measure quality? How do we detect some like a video artifact? So overall, we were we were having an impression that it may be a good idea to commercialize our research output. And we know there are needs, there still be a market for that. So we basically spent almost a year and a half to do the market research to really know what is the problem in the industry that we can jump in to solve it, and we are the right guys to solve it. So that's corresponding to the first basically item here. You have to define the problem. So you have to clearly know what is the problem that you are solving. So I think that's the first thing you have to know. But keep in mind that usually a problem have, there are different kind of problem. Ideally, you want to find a problem that is really a pain for a lot of people, which means like this problem has to be solved, not just give people a lot of benefits, but people want to have the problem to be solved now. There has to be some urgency because that's when you are trying to pitch your technology or your product to your customers. Then they may give you an order right away saying, okay, we really need this product. So that's the difficult part. Because you can, if you are doing some brainstorming with your coworker, you can always talk about, okay, this is a problem, that is a problem. There always be a problem. But keep in mind that a true problem has to be important, which means it has to give people a lot of benefit, and there has to be a lot of people using that, and it has to be solved now. So that's the first thing you have to define. So and after that, I would say it's basically uh, that gives you a right direction to work on it. And then design solution is somehow simpler than that because once you know the problem, you have a clear definition of it. So then you can always borrow something that is available on the market right now to solve the problem. For example, we uh, I think last year we were having a project to build a system that can do people counting. Basically, it's a software plus hardware solution that will be installed on top of your door that can count how many people went through the door. It's in and out. So it's a requirement to come up post-pandemic because people have wanted to control how many people go went through the store to access the building or access a mall. So this is the problem we get from the customer. They ask us whether we have a solution because it can be solved by those computer vision algorithm plus, but there are a lot of details. So you have to working around this solution to find the right software and hardware and to make sure your algorithm you can develop your own algorithm. That's not a problem. But you have to know what's the best solution you can find. You can run your algorithm on this edge computer that can provide those information to your customer. So that's something you have to work around. And the more even more important thing is about we're talking about product market fit. So I think that's basically all the product manager in a company always talk about this PMF because that basically means like what you are developing is actually what market needed. So you have to find the right fit for it, no more, no less. So then after that, then basically as a co-founder, you have to know about this customer or you have to understand the market. For example, for the know your customer, it means like you have to write something about your ideal customer persona. Say basically what kind of people are your customer. You can't say everyone can be my customer. That means you have no customer. So you have to write, draw something to provide the right condition or description of your customer. For example, what's their age range? Are you developing a product for young people or for elder people or for Asian people or for US people? So those are the people, those are the things you have to clearly know because you can't talk to everyone, right? You have to find the who can be your ideal customer, then talk to those customers directly. That can make the sell. And by understanding the market, that's I would say at the beginning, you probably don't have to spend a lot of time to do that. It will be a beneficial thing when you are scaling up a startup because when you understand the market, it basically means where are your customer. So what's the geographic location of your customer? So so that you can more focus and you can know your market size. So talking about startup, maybe a lot of would know like a company there's always a ceiling for company like your market size depend it will provide this upper bound. So you if you are aiming for a billion size market, you can grow to be say 100 million. But if you are eating, you're just working in a, like 10, 20 million market, so you won't grow bigger than that. So that's something you have to understand, and you have to do your own research, especially when you want to do fundraising. You definitely the investor would want you to know, and you have to tell them clearly uh, what's your market size basically. And then if you have all those problems solved, and then basically after you get your first paying customer, and depends on really that deal is your idealistic deal or not. Because the idealistic deal means like you have finished the deal and that deal is big, because that deal, of course, it depends on whether your business is about B2B or B2C. So whatever, as long as it has to be a successful deal, you want to know why it's to be successful, and then duplicate this deal to the other people. So, and then think about how to make it sustainable. Ideally, for example, like people running some like SaaS service, like software and service as a service model. Then they want those people to subscribe to their software. And then if people can always do that, and you have more people subscribe to those service, you basically can only spend I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of effort to attract customer. You just need to maintain the service, and then it's going to be a pretty good model to be successful. So I think that's all I have for today. So, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact Sophie, and we can always talk further. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zeng. If anyone has any questions like right now, feel free to take the chance, just raise your hand. We're really lucky to have him here just right now. So if any of you have any questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, sure. Just unmute and shout it
I
out.
think Leo want to ask question, but he cannot raise the hand. Legend, did you set up anything?
No, I think participants can raise their hand. Let me just check.
Oh, Leo, can you just turn on your
Yeah.
microphone?
Dr. Zeng, thank you so much for the presentation. I thought that was really good. The one question I had was, how do you think is the way to be, to be a unique startup in the age where we see so many like AI B2B SaaS startups, and how do you distinguish yourself from, even if you're focusing on a very niche field, with, like a relatively high barrier of entry, it does feel like like people are trying to put AI anywhere and everywhere. How do you kind of sell yourself apart from the rest of the field?
Okay, so the question is how to be a very unique player in the field. That's a very good question. So um, I have some, the simple answer is you have to spend time on it. So I would say you have to know your player. So basically, people always say the world is full, which means that whatever problem you have defined as important, there is a solution there already, because people can't leave the problem away, right? So there has to be something people can use to work around it. And I understand along with the development of AI, there are a lot of people are playing those model, and it would be really hard to know how to distinguish ourselves with our competitors. So then I would say that's why I said we have to spend time to really understand the the market and competitors. So like whatever problem you have defined or you have come up, you think that's cool. Like we have a solution for that. So there could be 10 solutions already there. Then we have to know like why our solution is unique. What's the benefit of our solution? People always say that if your solution cannot be 10 times better than the existing solution, you won't make it work. Like people won't pay for that. So I would say those are the challenges, from now till the next 5 to 10 years. But I would say there are always opportunities that people can identify. So just keep pushing that. And sooner or later, you will see something that's it could be not very the chance is that when the opportunity comes up, you have been ready for that. So another thing is like whenever you have some ideas, maybe try to talk to your advisor or some experienced people and get their opinion, and especially the right people who have the exact experience about your solution on the problem you're solving, so that you don't have to spend more time to that. So that's another important aspect for running a startup, because a startup would never run as what you initially designed it to run. I mean, you have to pivot. You have to always change your direction, and you have to fail fast. By failing fast, I mean, whenever you have an idea, you think you have the solution, try to assume my solution is not good. So try to think about a way to test it and make it fail fast. So somehow you come up with a conclusion, this won't work. Then if you spend less time for that to come up with that solution, you are success already. So you can working on another direction or find another solution for this one. So it's a very dynamic. It depends on how much effort and time and you can't do it alone. Build a team and see always discuss and see if there are new ideas and how do we validate that idea and try to iterate as quick as possible. So and keep pushing that, and sooner or later you'll find something cool.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. Dr. Zeng, can you describe one of your experience on startup and your experience on how you went through the challenges and deal with the competitive environment you're having and stuff like that?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, sort of. Can you describe a experience when you having a startup and when you deal with competition with other
Okay.
startup people? Yeah,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Um, so basically, I would say my advantage or what SSIMWAVE, the advantage of SSIMWAVE is that like I said, our research lab is basically top 5 or top 3 around the world. So which means like we have a very, very good reputation in this domain. Like when people talk about video quality, and we have published, like myself published more than 30 papers in the public domain, and we have dedicated conference for that. So which means whenever there's a problem or solution, and if people in the company has problem, we would do consulting for them. So that's give our advantage compared to our competitors, because our competitors most just build a product out of some like public algorithm, and we have our own proprietary algorithm, and we are sure that our performance is better. Of course, at the beginning, we don't have experience to build a product. So that's why we have to learn we spent I think 2-3 years, almost 3 years, before we really released our first product. So I would say, but this is just about me myself. So because I did my graduate in a good university, and we basically leveraging this our reputation to basically sell the product and talking to people. So basically, our experience is that because everyone knows us, so even without a product, whenever we want to talk to people, they won't just turn around and walk away. They always want to talk to us. So that gives us advantage to really know their pain and to know the real problem. So basically, that's where I would say, how do we what's our competitive advantages basically. So and after that, then of course we have people helping us to build the product, and we know what are our competitors are using. So we basically know the pros and cons. And the people when we talking to our customer, we always show up as an expert in the field. So it's actually we are talking to them. It's more like we're teaching them. Then most of the time they are convinced about what we're saying, because you know that's just because we have a lot of research experience in this dedicated direction. But of course it can be better. So it may be hard to duplicate for a undergrad, but I would say our approach is just one way of doing that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. For sure.
Do you want to go ahead and ask yours?
We have Jasper. So after Jasper is Andrew Mao. Then we may cut here. So, okay, we have Jasper and Andrew, and after that, then we'll continue. Thank you, Dr. Zeng.
Okay, so I wanted to know, would startups like built for fun and not just to solve a problem still be like a good startup?
That's a good question actually. For a startup, like if you want to start a startup, you have to solve a problem, right? So that's the value you bring to your customer. So I would say it's really depends on the business model or anything that's been designed for that. Like as long as there's a problem, that means there are needs. Like people want those solutions. And if if you think about what's the philosophy of running a startup is basically saying you have to aiming for a certain market and certain group of people, and bring value to them. So that means somehow when they need you, and they can pay for you. So that's how business running. So that's I guess that's the rough idea of it. I don't know if I'm answering your question, Jasper.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. So Andrew?
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Zeng.
Andrew.
Dr. Zeng. Yeah, so I had a quick question just about really scaling, because I think like, of course, like R&D is hard, software dev is hard, but at the end of the day, like many people haven't really scaled before. If it's like their first startup, whether it's like you're right out of college or like as you are right out of academia. So I'm really interested in, I'm not sure if your product had any kind of like hardware that you guys had to control. or if it's just software, but just in general, I'm interested in kind of like some of the scaling challenges you guys had and kind of like how you overcame them and like any advice in terms of like actually scaling product. Because I think like in this day and age, it's like it's not as hard to build the initial prototype, but it's very hard to actually like scale it out, right?
I would say that first of all, SSIMWAVE is a software company. So basically, we are pure software. We have on-prem deployment and we have cloud deployment as well. But most of the time is we did touch some of the hardware, but that's most like a set-top box, like on the TV side. But I was involved to some other projects because talking about hardware, like I worked with my friends is working running a startup to build LiDAR, like time of flight LiDAR, and I have a friend building like agriculture machines, so those are very, hardware focused. And in terms of the scale up, I would say it's really depend on whether you have that much customer. Of course, the scale up is something, it's not just a time. I mean, it's a process, right? So when you build your prototype, you know, like, first you have to sell your prototype, whether it's through a project or it can be an independent product that people can buy and use that. But when you see the feedback from the user of your prototype, you can have a better understanding about how many people may use that, how many people use that more. For example, like for that agriculture machine, like it's a heavy machine, right? Usually agriculture for harvesting is big, and they can build like one machine, two machine for some growers and for some farmers, but even for that two machines, they can see a lot of issues. Like it's similar like the prototype you're talking about. There are some like communication, there are something about USB connection always loose, and there could be some machine got damaged in the field, and so that's the thing you have to solve before you actually scale up, right? If you can imagine two machine will take one people, like one full-time team people to maintain that, then how many people need for 20 machines? So that's something when you scale up, the support and maintenance is one thing, and also the cost is another thing, right? So because you can afford to have just very little margin to try the market, and you don't have to earn money out of just one customer. But if it's scaled up, you want to reduce your costs as much as possible so that you have a lot of margins. So that's something I would say when you build your startup, you build your prototype, and focusing on finish it and make your prototype. And while you are trying to sell your prototype to the users, have the first bunch of customer, then think about what's problem we will have when we scale it up. So somehow software is relatively easier because software, if you when you sell one software, for example, you just sell 10 license, it's basically have very similar technique needed for sell 1,000 license. So it's easy to be replicated, but for hardware, it's need to be more careful, I would say. It's case by case.
For sure, for sure. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much, Dr. Zeng. And if any of you have any other questions, you can ask at the very end and we'll pass it over to him. Or
Okay.
we'll like email it to him or something. But thank you so much. That was really inspiring, and I hope all of our students, and I trust that all of our students learned a lot from it. For myself, I'll say that it really opened my eyes to how all of the ways in which AI can intersect with other fields, and I've seen that it's nearly endless. And I feel that we often talk about how AI can replace the human experience, but you've shown us a lot about how it can actually enhance that. So thank you so much. Legend, I was wondering about how I can make a similar impact as a student.
Yeah, so yeah, have you ever dreamed of starting your own business?
Yeah, I've kind of thought about physical therapy and maybe something related to it, but I'm super lost on where to even begin.
Well, what if I told you you could sprinkle some AI magic into your business idea?
AI? That sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. How would that even work?
Oh, buckle up. With the OpenAI API, it's like having a digital Jenny at your service. You can do almost everything from understanding languages, generating content, or even answering some questions. You can do whatever with it. It's definitely your friend.
Wow, that's mind-blowing, but wouldn't I need like a PhD to figure all that out?
Now, forget all those degrees and stuff. We got something even better. A 2-hour warm-up session followed by a learn-a-song will break down the whole business plan into small chunks and pieces. You've been creating stuff with AI like a pro in no time.
Seriously? But won't this cost an arm and a leg?
Nope, none on our watch. DIY4Youth swooping in to cover your expenses. If your idea wows us and your demo is truly amazing, consider all together with your Hackathon teammates. And together, you create something truly magnificent.
Whoa, this sounds too good to be true.
Believe it? So what'd you say? Let's dive into this AI-powered adventure together and show the whole world what we got.
Hi guys, get ready to kickstart your very own success story with our hackathon. So I'll go over the rules and schedule now so that you can achieve similar levels of success and create a similar amount of impact in the world. Okay, so let's go over the schedule for our online students first, because all of you know that there are two parts to this. You can either choose to join online or in person. So for us, we're in the opening ceremony right now. Thank you all for being here. And we'll go over some hackathon instructions. So make sure you stay until the end. For the online competition, it will start today at 10 p.m. and you can start meeting with your team and brainstorming. And your submission will be due on Monday, so May 20th at 11 a.m. We'll have judging from 11 to 2, and the closing ceremony, which will occur in person, will be live streamed to you guys, so you can join online from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. And here we'll be presenting your awards. For students who are joining in person, all of it's going to occur at this address. We'll sound out the slides later so you can go back and reference it. Make sure you know this. And it'll be on May 20th, 2024, so Victoria Day. In the morning, we'll have check-in from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and your submission will be due at 2 p.m. So you have a chance to be able to meet with your team and work together with them in person. We'll also have presentations and the judging for those from 2 to 3 p.m. And our news conference will be from 3 to 3:30. Afterwards, we'll have that closing ceremony. We'll present to you your awards, and that will be live streamed. And we'll have our networking reception where you'll have a chance to meet some of our judges as well as some of our speakers and to learn a little bit more from them. Okay. So let's go over who our judging panel is. We're very, very lucky to have a lot of really talented people giving you feedback and judging your presentations. So we have Professor Sunny Shi as our chair judge. We have Peng Chen, who is a PhD student in mechanical engineering at the University of Western Ontario. Liu Liu, you might have met him today, student in computer science and physics at the University of Michigan, and Andrew Mao, an undergraduate student in both the Wharton School of Business as well as the School of Engineering at UPenn. All right, so let's talk about the judging criteria. This is going to be similar to a rubric, and as you all know, students who read the rubric will do so much better on their project because you know what to adhere your project to and you know exactly what you need to accomplish. This will also be sent out and it's linked here in the slideshow. So we'll be judging you on 5 broad factors. The first is your creativity and your innovation. We want to see the great ideas that you can come up with. The second is your technical execution. We value the fact that your solution can work well, and we want that to amaze us. And third, we'll judge on your impact on the world or on your community and your business viability. So how relevant is your solution to the issues that you've identified? How big of an issue is it, and how big of an impact can you make for those people? Fourthly, we'll be judging you based on your presentation. You can do a lot of really good work behind the scenes, but we also want to see your presentation skills, and we also want to see a really good pitch. And finally, we'll be judging you on your team collaboration. We want everyone to be included and have a good role in this. We want everyone to be having fun throughout this process. All right, so let's talk about submissions. This is something that you really don't want to miss. The due date for your submission will be May 20th. For those online, it'll be at 11 a.m. And for those in person, it'll be at 2 p.m. Most of your teams should have already designated a team leader. You can do this after the session if you haven't already, but each team leader is responsible for communication with us, and you'll be responsible for sending your full submission package to this email, so hackathon@DIY4Youth.org. So what exactly are you going to be submitting? For those online, you want to submit your pitch, and this is going to be a slideshow or a PowerPoint presentation. And you also want to submit your 5-minute video. It's easiest for us to access this as either a YouTube link or a Bilibili link. And finally, for those in the advanced division, you have to submit your business plan as a document. For those in person, it's similar. You'll be handing your pitch into us along with your business plan, but you'll be presenting your pitch in person live to our judges. All right. Finally is the closing ceremony at the end of the day on the Monday. We'll have 2 prizes. The first is for the novice division. First place will get $50. Hacker division, first place will get $500. And we'll also have a most popular prize that is going to be judged later on June 16th. The way we do this is we're going to have each team hand in a really short video of their pitch. We'll put it on our YouTube, and the one that gets the most upvotes or the one that gets the most liked will win this most popular prize. So you'll be able to encourage your friends to go and vote for you. Okay. So let's go over some more technical aspects. This is really important if you want to be able to access, our API key that we'll provide for you to be able to power your prototype. All right, so let's go over how to create this. Let me know if you can see my Python screen right now. I will take the silence as a yes. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is that we will provide to you a zip folder titled DIY4Youth_students, and in it will contain a couple of really important files for you to be able to access our API key. So we want you to download that, unzip it, and add it to your project. You should have created one during our sessions, including the warm-up workshop, as well as our Learnathon. I have mine added right here. And then there's going to be 3 files that you see. You want to open up the one that says README, because this one will contain all of your instructions. Oh, okay. My screen is not showing the correct one, so hopefully this should work. Okay, perfect. You want to unzip the folder. We've done that already, and you want to put your folder under your project. I've also done that already. This is where mine is. And the third thing you want to do is install your request library. Only 3 steps, super simple. So where you do this is you're going to go to your settings, going to go to your Python interpreters. You're going to scroll down in this list until you find the results library, and you're going to install it. I already have mine, so I'm pretty much done. And the way that you can ensure that your key works is you can copy down this very simple example as to how to use this code, paste it in, and we'll be providing a unique key for every single team, and you can test this to ensure that it works. Perfect. It told me a joke. It functions. My key is working. So that's how you know that it'll work. You'll be able to test this out after the session. All right. So let's go back to the slides. As always, you'll be able to go back to these slides as well as the recording to reference if you need more guidance. And in terms of advanced usage, you'll be able to use this key or this function in a variety of ways. All you need to do is use the function call API, and you'll be able to do things like use more advanced prompt engineering to define your, the role of your GPT to be able to set more like functionalities. Okay. Why are we doing all of this? And it's basically to ensure more security for you and to ensure a more streamlined process. Team leaders, you guys should be responsible for making sure that you're using this key just for the hackathon because everything is going to be logged. So we can ensure that you guys are the only ones who are able to access your unique keys, and you guys are able to use this for educational opportunities to be able to use it for your hackathon project. Okay. To access this, each team leader who's responsible for communication should email us to get their folder so that they can download it and send it to their teammates, as well as getting their unique key. Email us at this address, hackathon@DIY4Youth.org. It's the same one for your submissions. All right, so let's talk about next steps. This is going to be the last, meeting that we have before the actual hackathon day. So after this is done, feel free to go and meet your team. If you haven't assigned team leaders and team goals already, make sure to do that and make sure to connect with them over Discord or WeChat or whatever method of communication you wish to use. And then you can get straight to work. Team leaders should make sure to email us immediately for that API key. Make sure to allocate your roles well, and above all, make sure that everyone feels included and that everyone is having fun. We'll take questions now if you have them. Otherwise, you're free to go. Thank